We are a Catholic, faith-based healthcare system. We're in 6 states in the U.S. We're also in Mexico, Chile, and Colombia. We've got about 60 hospitals, several clinics, a lot of other services. And we're the #1 healthcare system that gives charity care, which we're proud of because of our mission. And my role within CHRISTUS is the Vice President of Talent Management. And so that's a scope of leadership development, performance management, workforce planning, career and succession management, and then learning for all associates. Our #1 priority right now is transforming performance management, moving away from the annual review to continuous feedback. That's our #1 priority right now. Also, it's integrating new partnerships and acquisitions into our culture, and then a focus on ensuring leaders are effective. What we've heard from our associates is they want effective leaders, and our leaders want to be effective. Some of the reasons we considered fierce for CHRISTUS actually started way back in 2003. I was in our high potential program, the CHRISTUS Leadership Academy. And one of the books we had to read was Fierce Conversations. And I was actually out in operations at the time, not part of HR, and I thought, what wonderful concepts. Wouldn't this be great if we could share them all across the organization? And I really wasn't in a position to do that then. Several years later, I'm leading the learning function through talent management at CHRISTUS. And we did some executive assessments on our 250 top leaders in the company. And I'd always had this gut. I knew that we were terrible at having authentic, courageous conversations, and I didn't have the evidence to back it up. So I had a hard time influencing leaders on we needed to invest in this. But those assessments, when they came out, the #1 opportunity for our executives was they needed more courage and to have more honest, robust conversations. So that was the impetus for finding a solution. And I went back to the book I remembered from '03, and I knew some people at Fierce, and their culture, their solution was totally aligned with the values at CHRISTUS, especially around enriching relationships through conversations, because we are such a relationship-based culture. What really stood out to me that we had selected the right solution was you go through the certification, it's very rigorous and it's not automatic. You have to meet standards. So they stand up for what they say and provide feedback for improvement. Since we've implemented Fierce, we've got some great results. First and foremost was our engagement survey. We went from the 3rd quartile to the top quartile. And we also were looking at the question, my supervisor provides me with coaching and feedback to help me grow, significantly increased up to the 80th percentile. So we're very pleased about that. We also saw a decrease in executive turnover in the first year because of this learning and other things we had going on, which is a huge ROI for the bottom line. The teams that are using the conversation models, all people leaders was our focus when we first rolled it out, and it was required that each people leader go through the foundational course and then also the coaching and confrontation. And then we've also rolled in the Fierce modules into our CHRISTUS Leader Foundations class, which is onboarding for all new people leaders, either promoted internally or hired externally, and they're getting all the conversation modules. We also did it for our patient experience leaders because we knew it was important for them to have that learning. And then in a couple of our markets, we've done it with charge nurses and have had great results, so we're looking at how we can add that to more charge nurses across the system. The feedback we've received from participants has been extremely positive. What touches me, because who we are as an organization, we believe in the whole person being fulfilled, not just at work, is people say, this transformed my life, not only at work but at home. It saved a marriage, it saved a relationship with a child. So we hear wonderful things that align with our mission, and it also helps them be better leaders at work. So after we got all our leaders through, we added Fierce to our CHRISTUS Leader Foundations course. And then we also added Fierce Generations, We had a lot of leaders say, I don't know how to manage all these different generations in the workplace, so we're currently rolling that out. It's become part of our culture. The language from Fierce we embed in all our learning, even outside of the Fierce learning. And so for the future, we want that to continue to build. We hear people all the time saying the conversation is the relationship, which is a tenet of Fierce. And anytime we want ideas on how to embed Fierce into other things we're doing, we pick up the phone and we call, and they help us figure out how to do that, even if they're not already doing it. So anything we implement, we always intend to use Fierce as a piece of that.